Yes.
Have I been fair?
Oh, absolutely.
Have I been factual?
100%.
Now, if you thought I wasn't, you wouldn't say otherwise, really, would you?
Correct.
No,
absolutely.
Correct. So now we have the spectacle of shows on our favorite cable network asking paid commentators if they've been fair. No, you haven't. All right, well, you're gone. So we have the spin of the spin. Now, Trump was accused by the moderator asking the second question. And keep in mind, I haven't endorsed Trump. I doubt that I'm going to, as a matter of fact. But that has nothing to do with this. Nothing. In fact, let's go ahead and play it. Cut 7, Mr. Producer. Go.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals.
Now, let me stop right there. As an attorney, and she's one and I'm one, exactly whom are you talking about? What is the source and what's the context? No, those words are not acceptable, but I'm still asking. We want to know. I mean, at least he's not accused of rape. Oh, they tried that with Ivana Trump. Remember that, Mr. Producer? And she came out and said baloney. But Bill Clinton is accused officially, on the record, of rape, which was ignored by the media for months. Maybe he didn't use these words, but he used something else. Go ahead.
Twitter account
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't. Your Twitter account.
Thank you.
For the record, it was well beyond Rosie O'Donnell.
Yes, I'm sure it was.
Your Twitter account has several disparaging comments about women's looks. You once told a contestant on Celebrity Apprentice it would be a pretty picture to see her on her knees.
Stop. You once told a contestant on Celebrity Apprentice it would be a pretty picture to see her on her knees. She's reading this. So this was done with forethought. Every syllable was planned in advance. So the researchers did the research. This was approved, had to be, by management. You once told a contestant on Celebrity Apprentice it would be a pretty picture to see her on her knees. That's pretty grotesque, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, Mr. Producer.
Does that sound to you like the temperament of a man we should elect as president?
All right, let's stop right there. So that's the specific example she gives, asking about his temperament. And by the way, you may have legitimate questions about his temperament. I am drilling down on what took place. This isn't about, oh, you support him, you don't support him. I am disgusted with the lost opportunity here. That this would be the second question, setting the stage for the rest of the hour. This is our country. This is the Republican primary process. Our primary process. Not the news media. Not any news media. This isn't about hosts. It isn't about their ratings. It's about our country. Now, you want to know the facts about that? Because if I don't tell you the facts, you're not going to know the facts about that. And I've never met Mr. Trump. I've never played golf with Mr. Trump. I've never gone to any clubs with Mr. Trump. I've never had a meal with Mr. Trump. Nothing. Zero. I don't have a dog in this fight, except integrity. Donald Trump on the Morning Joe this morning, and I never play crap from that crap show, but I will now. Hat tip, right scoop, cut 24, go.
I don't remember that on The Apprentice, and I don't know where they got some of these words, to be honest with you. In fact, I'm going to have somebody call up and find out where these words came from.
Well, they found the words, and they were perfectly innocent. Donald Trump on season 6 of The Apprentice. Now, by the way, that means that our good friends at Fox went through The Apprentice, the various shows of The Apprentice, the season of The Apprentice, went back and looked at his Twitter and his Facebook, trying to dig, like opposition research, trying to dig stuff up. Here we, the people, We want to know their views on a whole host of issues. 10 candidates, 2 hours. Let's get with it. This is what they did. They turned it into the National Enquirer. I say this with enormous regret. Cut 25, go. This is from The Apprentice.
Brandy came in here, she got down on her knees and said, I passionately want to do this. I, at this point, am the team chooser, not the team leader yet.
Excuse me, you dropped to your knees.
Yeah.
And begged to do this. And I said, I'm looking around the room, and we had even LaToya, who sat beside me, thought maybe Brandy was right.
Must be a pretty picture you dropped to your
John and
knees.
Dennis thought I should be. Omarosa said me. Some other people said you.
A pretty picture to see her drop on her knees. That wasn't in a sexual context. The context was she dropped to her knees begging whomever it was to do a particular task or not do a particular task, which is the nature of The Apprentice, which I never really watched, but other people watched. So it is assumed that it's a sexual innuendo when the context suggests it's not. But it's certainly not clear-cut at all, and from my perspective, it's not at all a sexual innuendo. And yet that's the specific example that is used against him. After all the background search that must have been done, this is season 6 of The Apprentice. They were looking and looking. This is question number 2 in a Republican presidential debate. Well, he's going to have to learn to answer these questions. Really? This is a Republican primary process. We want to pick our nominee. Then we'll duke it out with the sleazeballs on the left. Go ahead. Continue with it, Mr. Producer. That's it. Now, Brandy Roderick, if you don't believe me, she's the Apprentice contestant who dropped to her knees. And here's what she said about all of this. Maybe they should have talked to her before this was such a seminal point in question number 2. Cut 26, go.
I actually didn't even remember, like him, I didn't even remember him saying that. And from the clip, you can see all he was reacting to was, what he thought it would have looked like. But, I've always had a positive experience around Donald. He's always been encouraging. He's never been disrespectful to me. I don't condone men being derogatory, but I think he was just, he's on television. He's trying to be funny. I don't think that he meant anything, horrible by it.
So here I've had to spend over 40 minutes of my program in the first hour dealing with this, addressing this. I am still stunned by this. Where we have accomplished men on the stage, 10 of them, governors, former governors, senators, who are vying to be the Republican nominee for President of the United States. We're facing enemies all around us, the Islamo-Nazis in Tehran. Imagine if I ran for president, what they'd be running. The Islamo-Nazis in Tehran, the Red Chinese on the rise, the Russians on the move. They just attacked the Pentagon, cyber war. The economy is lousy. By the way, Megyn, I'm going to show you your war on women. And by the way, the women I were sitting with yesterday were not very happy with you. I'm just saying. Each one of them said, you don't represent them. Why do you claim to defend them? This isn't personal. I'm not accusing people of things. I'm not taking things out of context. I'm challenging. Up on the Drudge Report, among other things, record 56,209,000 women are not working. A record. Obama is waging a war on women. Liberals are waging a war on women. Democrats are waging a war on women. This is their economy. This is their government. These are their policies. Wouldn't it have been nice if this was discussed more? more. Ready for this one? 100%. 100% of the jobs that women hold, female employment gains, since 2007, by foreigners. Let me repeat that. 100% female employment gains taken by foreigners since 2007. That sounds like a war on American women. Not one question related to this. Instead, we have to hear about stuff that's cherry-picked out of season 6 of The Apprentice, stuff that's cherry-picked from The View and Trump's battle with Rosie O'Donnell. And I'm shaking my head watching this and saying, what the hell is this? But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. 24 million viewers. That is a record for cable TV in a non-sporting event. Congratulations. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.